Hello and welcome to this short presentation explaining how we're going to measure progress in Year 10 at Hillside. These are changing times for GCSE education. There's new measures across the country for schools, and there's brand new GCSE courses in English and mathematics for all your Year 10s across the country. There's also a new grading structure for English and Maths, which I'm just going to explain now. For the new GCSEs in English and Maths, they will be given numbered grades, not lettered grades. So instead of receiving an A star to G grade, as they would have done in all their other subjects, in English and Maths they actually will receive a grade numbered 1 to 9, and this chart shows how it works. As you can see, grade 4 is equal to a C grade in this new structure, and that goes up to a grade 9, which would be equivalent to an A star. The lowest grade is a grade 1. So obviously for your child you will actually receive a mixture of lettered grades and numbered grades, and those numbered grades will be in English and mathematics, and the lettered grades will be in all of the other subjects. This has obviously meant we've had to look at how we measure progress at Hillside, and so we've introduced a new system, and this new system involves every student being given a minimum expected grade, a MEG, in each subject. Now this MEG's based on the levels that the students entered school from the primary school. Also it's based on what we know about your child's talents and abilities, and also projections that the Department for Education have made about the amount of progress they would expect to see from your child. But we've added a bit of edge because none of your children are average, so we want to make sure that we've got some challenge in our MEGs. And so whilst the DFE might say what average progress is, we've added on slightly more because we expect the best from your child, and we want them to do better than just average. The key word with MEGs is minimum. We do expect all our students to actually work at their MEGs at all times, or to be as close to them as possible. And this is quite different from the old system. In the past we used to set a target where students would try and reach that target by the end of the year. Now we ask students to actually keep their performance at the minimum grade that we'd expect them to be working at throughout the year. There are then assessments throughout the year which will inform students, yourselves and teachers about what grade the students are actually working at. If the grade's below the MEG, then we need to identify the reasons for it and the strategies needed to improve what the problem is. If the student's consistently achieving more than their MEG, then we need to review it and make sure that that MEG is challenging enough. Obviously we need to communicate with home and let you know how things are going. And the school year is divided up into 4 assessment windows, where you'll receive the current grade and the attitude to learning of your child. The first window is in November, we then have one in February, one in April and one in June, and you will receive a progress report which will look similar to this. Now this report that I've produced shows you what the minimum expected grade is for a student. So for example for John here, we expect him to get a minimum of a grade 6 in English, what his current grade is, so he's currently on a 5 in English, and what his attitude to learning is like, whether it be good, outstanding, variable or poor. So you'll get a clear indication of what our minimum expected grade is for your child, but also what current grade they're working on and what their attitude for learning is like. Supporting all of this is the assessment schemes. Now the assessment schemes really are an indicator to students, to parents and to teachers, showing what skills and knowledge are needed to actually achieve a MEG at each assessment window, and these will be available live on the website shortly. I'll just show you an example of one of these assessment schemes. This is for GCSE PE, and as you can see it's split into the different grade boundaries, and it says there what sort of knowledge and understanding is needed at each one of those grade boundaries in assessment window 1 for the child to actually achieve their grade. Assessments are also going to change because really now most GCSEs are exam focused, 100% examination at the end of the course. So we are going to mirror that with the way in which we assess. So at each assessment window there will be GCSE exam style tests. Where there is coursework or practical assessments, then we will contribute marks to that as well to make sure that it makes up the correct proportion of marks of the GCSE course. The most important thing really is that we get students used to sitting exams and revising for exams, because at the end of the day they're the skills that they need to have at the end of year 11 that will make sure they achieve their full potential. Attitude for learning is obviously very important, and there are 4 grades that we use for attitude for learning that we'll be reporting on to you: outstanding, good, variable or poor. And there is an explanation of these 4 grades and the sort of behaviours that we'd expect students to display, and the teachers use these to decide what grade the student is currently working at regards to attitude for learning. Obviously, if you have any concerns about your child's report, then please do not hesitate to contact your child's progress manager or myself, Mr. Edwards, if you need further information.